was not as well known internationally as some of the great East German long jumpers in the past, people like Dombrowski. But Hirschberg jumps superbly in the qualifying round. Big man pounding down the runway. Stretches out nicely. Wait for the flag on that. White flag. So the competition finally has someone with a jump in. 23 years of age, as you can see there. Evangelisti fouled his first jump. He's the first man on the runway. Look at the smooth run. Beautiful hang method. Good extension. Slides into the pit. Lovely jump from her. He might be quite a surprise to get into that top 8, Hirschberg. Jumping 8.10 in the qualifying round certainly is a good jump. Oh, there is no margin for error. They gave him the white flag on that one. 8.16. What a good opener.
David, for a short moment, about 2 or 3 minutes, David, before Carl Lewis takes his first attempt in the long jump.
And we're certainly looking forward to that with great interest.
Action. He had a personal best yesterday, Paul, to qualify of 8.06, and he's chasing an 8.16 because Hirschberg has set the standard so far. That's a leading jump.
Yes, that's right. Kärnä competed in the last World Championships when he was much lesser known jumper. And he, as Bruce mentioned, he did a personal best in the qualifying round, which was a superb effort. Amidzhinov of Bulgaria has jumped 8.11. And Layevskiy of the Soviet Union, 7.89. They're the first three. We're still in the first round, and Lewis will follow Kärnä. Hang method jumper, slide over rotation. Red flag, it's a no jump. So it's not a good start for Kärnä, but the big man is next to follow him down. Not much of a knee lift there on Kärnä. You can see he's well over the board on that jump. Hangs, coming down rather early, over rotates. There it is. Very, very clear foul. No worries about that one. So Kärnä, of course, will have 2 more jumps. And, of course, the top 8 positions will become very, very interesting. Myricks of the United States has had to defend this particular title. He jumped magnificently in the qualifying round, where he virtually exploded to 8.36 and let the rest of the competition know that he is here. It's going to be very interesting what he does. He's that enormous crowd of photographers that came out to take a good look at him. They've cut them down to a very select few now. Carl Lewis. His very first jump in the final. Very important to get that big jumper out first. Superb competition in the Pan American Games just recently. And Lewis certainly puts himself on the line when the big competition's there. Crowd clapping, urging the man. Signs up there. Great support for Lewis. Here he comes. It's a big jump. There's that world standard marker. White flag. 26 years of age with a personal best of 8.79.
And the wind behind him was 0.35. That's why Lewis was waiting and waiting. And isn't he poetry in motion on the runway?
It looks magnificent. It's amazing. The height, the stretch. He gets his feet out. And I think there's further room there. He can extend a little further on the end of that jump. He's going to put in a marker here, which will make everybody chase him. Wait for that scoreboard to show up. Right on the board. That's where you have to be.
8.67, Paul.
8.67.
It smashed his championship record. That really has set the standard. I'll go for the all-time list, but there are not very many men that have made that at 8.67.
That's right. You'll probably find his name mentioned a few times. Well, that'll put the wind up Robert Emmiyan.
Over at 5.70. Here's Bobylyov on the runway.
That's Bobylyov, who pulled one out on his last jump. Very good one again. 2 Russians competing.
67, but here is the man who could be his biggest opponent. Robert Emmiyan with a personal best of 8.86, the current European champion.
That's right, Emmiyan. Very fast on the runway. Look at the speed he generates on there. The big danger to Carl Lewis. Oh, that's a big jump. That's a big one. So Emmiyan's right into the competition, which is currently led by Carl Lewis at 8.67. Hirschberg of East Germany, 8.16. Amidzhinov of Bulgaria, 8.11. Bobylyov, Soviet Union, 7.90. Look at the speed he's generating. Look at the way he's working those arms. Very good on the board. Hangs beautifully. He can extend further. Man who was second in the World Cup in Canberra, the European champion. Right on the board there. 8 meters 30, second place. T89 I've seen on the board. That hits the front. Layevskiy, Evangelisti of Italy. It's all happening. The man who came third failed his first jump. Third in the Olympics, third in the European Championships, who jumps magnificently this year with 8:43.
Layevskiy was 20.89, so she's taken the lead in the shot put as we wait for this distance for Evangelisti. He has the white flag.
Oh, magnificent jump. Look at him stretch out. Has this man really improved? It's a big jump. 8+. Onto the board beautifully. Was the crowd waiting with great patience. Everything goes very, very quiet after the roar. Big cheer, but we can't see the board. It's at an angle. 8:09, and that will not get him a place at the moment.
Lewis leading the competition at 8:67. Emmiyan in second placing at 8:30.
Yes, Layevskiy getting ready for his second attempt. 7:89 on his first jump. He is lying in 8th place. Lewis 8:67, Emmiyan 8:30, Hirschberg 8:16, Amidzhinov 8:11, Evangelisti 8:09, Myricks 8:04, Bobylyov 7:90, and of course Layevskiy. Comes Layevskiy. Stretches out. That's probably better than his first jump. Layevskiy, who has jumped very well in major competition, coming second in the European Championships last year. Stretches out nicely. And all the Russians using very similar techniques. Hang method, which relies on enormous speed on the runway. However, of course, they don't match the speed both Myricks of the United States has and Lewis, of course, their incredible strength. Layevskiy shakes his head. He doesn't seem to be too happy with it. 7:95, that's an improvement. All it does is plus in the long jump. Now, Amidzhinov, who held second place for a while there, had jumped 8:11 on his first jump. Not too much is known about him outside of Bulgaria. It was a personal best he jumped, actually, in that first jump, so he's going to be in shape. Throws in a lot of short steps, stretches out very, very well. I don't think that's going to be as far, but it's difficult to tell from our angle. Qualified with 8:05. Here he is. Look at those. His run-up's a little bit off there. Sure, you can see those stuttering steps far too early. Stretches out nicely, however. Yeah, best of 8:07 going into. This is young Krsek, who of course made it by a centimetre in the qualifying round yesterday. And this is his second attempt. He jumped 7:67 on his first jump. And of course he'll be looking to get back into the competition like he did yesterday. But he only has those 3 jumps to nail down those top 8 spots, who get an extra 3. 7.90 is the asking price there. So young Ivo Krsek, Czechoslovakia, personal best of 8:03. Jumped 7.96 in the qualifying round yesterday to qualify by 1 centimetre. Much shorter than a lot of the other jumpers. No, he's totally lost that one.
Let's leave that there because Lewis is about 2.5 minutes away and we'll be back.
Ei noussut kovin korkealle tuo, mutta katsotaan nyt. Lewis johtaa 8.67, Emmiyan toisena 8.30, Hirschberg kolmantena 8.16 ja nyt sinne tulevat Jarmonkin lukemat 7.80.
Pole vault to the long jump and the man who has set the standard, the great Carl Lewis, 8.67, and everybody's waiting in expectation. The wind's just against him at the moment, Paul, so I think he'll hang on for as long as possible.
Yes, you'll let the clock run down, I think, for a few minutes, although he doesn't have much time, 1 minute 30. At 8.67, of course, Carl, I don't think he's going to be worried too much about whether winning this competition. I think he would love to get that world record at sea level. He refuses to go to altitude to try and get it. And I think he's risen in stature during this competition over the last few days. A great effort in the 100 metres. Convincing himself. He certainly is a great athlete. 8.67 on the first jump. Next best jump is 8 metres 30 by Robert Emmiyan, who was the big threat to him.
And if this is a legal jump, it'll be one more than he had in the whole of the Los Angeles competition when he won the gold medal.
That's right. He was criticised for that, but I don't know. He's a great athlete. Oh, there's another big one. He certainly has come out firing. I don't think he took his defeat beautifully in the 100 metres, but he didn't like it. He copped it on the chin and he's come bouncing back here. Look at that. Beautiful takeoff on the board. Drives out. Look at those extension. And that's going to be another big jump. We're waiting for the board to show up, which comes up slightly before the TV screen. What a great athlete. Right on the board once again. It's almost identical. The crowd's applauding. 8.65. What consistency.
Magnificent performance by Lewis. 8.67 and 8.65.
Ja sen verran vielä voidaan kertoa, että Mike Conley, joka oli pituuskilvassa Helsingissä 3.
Yes, Usui jumped 7 metres 77, has been almost a veteran of Japanese athletics. He's been the national champion many times over. Here he comes down on his second attempt. He's quite a good sprinter, Usui, having run for the Japanese national team. He's stretched out on that one. I don't think it's going to get him his 8 metres that he was looking for. He jumped very, very well in the qualifying rounds, Usui. Jumping 8.02 there, qualified with great comfort. His personal best is 8 metres 10. Stretches out nicely. It'll be interesting how far he gets on this one. We're viewing it from an angle. He's also actually running the 4x400 metres relay for Japan as well, although today they're not using him. Obviously it clashes with the long jump. Look at that. 8 metres. Very deceptive, so it's very hard for us to see. Excellent jump by him. Here we have, from West Germany, Heiko Reski. And that's a solid jump from Reski. He started with 7 metres 87 on his first jump. 24 years of age. Reski has a best of 8.06, which he nearly equaled in the qualifying round, and that looked like a very, very good opener. Usui's 8 metre jump before put him in 7th place. So the cut-off point is now becoming very, very far away for a lot of jumpers. I think Reski will give the 8 metres a bit of a nudge there. Very tall West German. Ooh, I wonder what the judges will do with that one. I think he almost turned his... Now, he fouled his first jump, so it's imperative that he gets one in. The standard is very high. And he is a competitor. That's over 8 metres. Man who came second in the triple jump gives the crowd a wave. 24-year-old American, the only one in this field who was doubling, which is very difficult to do at this level of competition. Qualified with 7.99, so of course he'll be on top here. 8.43 is his best. Stretches out nicely. Look at that great height, slide over rotation. Man who won in Canberra. 8 meters 10, which moves him into 5th place. It's now Evangelisti's in 3rd place with a great jump of 8 meters 19. Larry Myricks on his 3rd jump. How's down that runway? Oh, that's a good jump. He's stretched right out. 8th place is now 8.08. Lewis on 8.67 leads. From Emmiyan, 8.30. Evangelisti, 8.19. Hirschberg, 8.16. Amidzhinov, 8.11. Conley on 8.10. Layevskiy, 8.08. There are another 3 jumpers over 8 meters as well. Great extension by Myricks, using that enormous speed he has, bearing in mind he ran the individual 200 in Helsinki in the last World Championships. Man who has been in 2 Olympics, would have been 3rd except for the boycott in 1980. Anxiously awaiting that jump. It looked very, very big. A great competitor, this man, is he actually broke, he got a stress fracture in the qualifying round, the 76 Olympic qualifying round. He couldn't participate in the final. He's still looking back to see what it is. 8.23. That puts him into 3rd place now. He tips Evangelisti out, who moves into 4th with 8.19.
But the thing with Panetta, he just looks so fresh now. Let's go back to the long jump. Carl Lewis is on the runway. He has been in an extraordinary form with 8.67 and 8.65. And right now he's got a wind at his back. So if he takes advantage of this, who knows? Look out, Bob Beamon, 8.90. That would really ignite the stadium.
That's right. This whole stadium is absolutely abuzz. It's just a fantastic feeling. At one stage, there was an Italian high jumper clearing a height in the qualifying round. Evangelisti on the runway. Panetta winning the steeplechase. And the crowd is very, very warmed up. And here's Lewis, and there's still a buzz at the moment. The extra motivation here, the extra additional spur. Can he do it? It's another big jump. White flag.
Into a headwind, Paul, of 0.17.
0.17 headwind. But it's a big jump right on the board again. What great consistency he has. Look at the extension that time. And that's going to be, again, a very, there's a huge roar went up in the crowd, especially that section that's right near the long jump. We get a far better view there from a side on exactly how far he's getting out. Americans are jumping extremely well. Conley having jumped 8 meters 10 in 7th place.
8.67 again, Paul.
8.67.
So Lewis in spectacular form. The 1,500 meters final coming up shortly, and Bubka still going in the pole vault. And been extraordinary. 8.67, 8.65, 8.67.
What great consistency from this man. That smooth, fast run up, and again out there, that long distance once again. Crowd really got revved up behind him. This competition has developed into an extremely top-line competition. Look at the height, stretches out. And one thinks it's such superb competition right through to 8th place. And yet this man is 37 centimeters clear of 2nd place at the moment. So very tight after that as he stretches out. Emmiyan still in 2nd place was 8.30. Myricks on 8.23. Evangelisti 8.19. Hirschberg 8.16. 8 meters 43 on that last jump. 8.43, which is his worst jump, and still 13 centimeters better than 2nd place.
So he's dominating this competition like Bubka is in the pole vault. Vigneron has missed at 5.85 on his 2nd attempt. So both Bubka and Lewis have what looks to be an unassailable advantage at the moment.
On his 4th round, currently in 2nd place. That's a big jump. That is a big jump. I don't know if it'll challenge Carl's lead. He's 8:30 in second place. That jump was 8:53. It's an 8:53 jump in second place. This is Larry Myricks of the United States, who's been jumping in superb form at the moment. He's in third place on 8 meters 23. This is his fifth jump. Myricks, who won the '79 World Cup. And again, he stretches out, big 8 meter plus jump. It's a white flag. So currently at the moment, Carl Lewis on 8:67. Robert Emmiyan on 8:53. Larry Myricks 8:23. Evangelisti of Italy on 8:19. Myricks needs to get a little further away from Evangelisti. There he is using that 20 flat speed of his. A great 200-meter runner, this man. Good extension. Can you see the board yet? He has room on that takeoff board.
It's a big one.
8:33. So he's got that little breathing space from Evangelisti, but Emmiyan has slipped away from him, though. Emmiyan on 8:53 in second, so we're really getting the long jumps out. Hirschberg lies in fifth at 8:16. Amidzhinov on 8:11 on that first jump. Conley on 8:10 is struggling with 3 fouls. He goes through this stretching routine on the top of the runway, making sure of his flexibility. He took an awful pounding in the triple jump where he took the silver medal the other day. He had to pull out a big jump to qualify. And now, of course, he's got the 8:10, then he followed it with 2 fouls. So he's trying very hard to concentrate. The wind has now shifted, and he's just spotted that. So he's got a tailwind at the moment. But like all stadiums, the wind tends to swirl, so you can't sort of rely on it for very, very long. Mike Conley now, he's languishing in 7th place, but he's a superb competitor. He stretches out nicely, and it's another red flag. So that's his 4th foul. That leaves him 1 jump now to improve himself or get into any form of medal position. He's jumping superbly.
Il risultato della gara di qualificazione salto in alto uomini gruppo A.
Foul on his 5th attempt, so Lewis is leading the long jump competition with Emmiyan second, Myricks in 3rd place.
Giovanni Evangelisti on his final attempt. He is lying in 4th place at the moment. He must get over 8 meters 30 to get a chance at a medal here. He stretches out, and it's a big jump. Salutes the crowd, who's been terribly supportive of him. Evangelisti on 8 meters 19. He has to have a big jump on that last one. We're going to be receiving the adulation of the crowd. Here he comes in, driving to it. He's been so superb a competitor. Stretches out. It's a beautiful jump. It's a white flag on this jump as he hits the board perfectly. Evangelisti, it's going to be very important. He's 4th at the moment with 8 meters 19. Myricks is ahead of him on 8:33. Evangelisti, who was 3rd in Los Angeles, 3rd in the European Championships. The crowd roars. 8:38, he's in 3rd place. He's got 3rd place, but Myricks will follow him. He's thrown his shirt away. The crowd are absolutely ecstatic with that jump. 8:38, he is now in 3rd place. Larry Myricks. He has just lost 3rd place by 5 centimeters. This great athlete now has to pull it out on that last jump. And that's another big one. Has he got it? Has he got an 8:30 plus jump? He must get 8:38 or beyond. Myricks with a speed on the runway. It's a tremendous pressure jump for him for a medal. There he goes, rises into the air. The hitch kick extends beautifully. The crowd has roared. And that would mean it's not enough. 8:20, not enough. Fourth place for Myricks. Carl Lewis, last jump, the final of the long jump. Stretches out to a magnificent jump. It's a magnificent finish. White flag. Hands are raised. Huge applause from the crowd nearby. Here comes Lewis down. Hits that board beautifully. Stretches out. Where's he gone to? Look at his feet. Extend as far. Battery of photographers following him down. What great temperament of this man. Waited to the final moment before he jumped. Extends as far as possible. Ooh, that is right on the board. He got the white flag, however. 8:60. What a phenomenal series. 8 meters 67, 8 meters 65, 8 meters 67, 8 meters 43, a foul, and 8 meters 60 to finish it up with.